All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I said this last time I made this, I'm going to say it again. Look, this to me is the ugliest side of trading, all right? There is a quote out there that says when there's blood on the streets, there's money in the pockets, all right? And I think more people use that as like a buy the fear thing and this and that and like almost like a cry to average down. To me, I've always believed that that quote means there's some really messed up things in the world. There are things that literally bring blood to the streets, but they're wildly profitable and people make a lot of money and there's green in people's pockets from it. And this is that moment. Like there is a potential of a war, right? If people are throwing out World War III and this and that, you know I'm not here to like make crazy extremes and thoughts like that, right? But we are in a buy the rumor moment, all right? There are a lot of rumors of what might happen, and I've always said it, rumors matter more than the facts, all right? So we're going to cover HUBC again. It's funny, I got the oil stocks wrong when I did the last one, so just a kind of a chuckle there. But we're going to look at TPET, I think that's the stock, and then SC... Oh man, I forgot it. What is it? SPCB. All right. And look, my favorite part is you can see it. We were talking about this on the Discord a couple days ago. We were actually ready for it come today. And I've never heard of that stock. Lo and behold, you have a bunch of eyes working as a team and good things happen, right? So excited for this one, and I'll get into the details shortly. But what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? So let's get into HUBC. And you know, the first thing I want to say is I don't really know a lot about HUBC, all right? I don't know how further along they are versus other security companies. I don't even know how important they are in terms of like Israeli market share, this and that, all right? To me, this stock is 100% by the rumor, all right? Just zooming out. This is a stock that has not done well historically. This is a stock that has come off a reverse split not that long ago, right? So just in my head, this isn't necessarily a stock I'm here to trust, but this is a stock that has a lot going because of what's going on in the world right now, right? So let's talk about a couple headlines. And look, really quickly, I am not someone that follows politics. I am not someone that follows like global economic news and this and that, right? So please don't hesitate to correct me if I'm wrong on anything, all right? But the real big thing that happened was Iran had sent some drones into Israel, okay? My understanding of that is there was something that happened to Iran about a month ago, and they didn't immediately react. Okay, so it's not like something happened on Thursday, lo and behold, the drones come in Friday, Saturday, right? No, there was literally like a month of, you know, that to this. Some people have said, and when I say some people, look, honestly, it's people that I think have better opinions than I do, right? Some people have said that move alone really shows that nothing drastic is going to happen. All right. They gave everyone some time to almost get ready for it. And based on the headlines I kind of saw, I would say nothing extreme really happened. Right. So crazy headlines. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people are wondering, is this the start of something? And that matters more. But I think the actual drone event, I don't think it's much. Let me know if you disagree, please, okay? But that's at least what someone a little more educated said, and I think I like that opinion, all right? That said, listen, I think there is so much rumbling and so much uncertainty, let alone the fact that there always has been. It's not like we're talking about a very peaceful and friendly region that's always loved each other and hey, all of a sudden the waters are choppy. No, I mean, this is a region that hates each other, right? Like there are so many different countries that hate each other for so many different reasons, and it's like a very, 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 very deep hatred, right? So to me, I think the fact that there are questions in an already unstable region adds to all of it, right? So coming into HUBC specifically, look, to me, this is nothing more than a random 4 letters that happens to be a security company in the heart of the battle, right? And hey, if the rumors are there's a lot of bad things happening, you're going to need some security, right? So I think that's why the eyes are here. Again, do I believe HUBC is a beautiful, good company and like this and that? Dude, I have no idea, dude. I don't. I don't know their financials. I don't know how many contracts they have, this, that, and those, right? But what am I seeing and what are we about to talk about? Dude, these are some good technicals here. All right, these are some real good technicals, and obviously, if you've been here before, you know what I'm about to say. If you haven't, you're going to hear this so many times. We need confirmation. All right, I'm going to talk about the 100 moving average shortly, this blue line. I want to come down here real quick. All right, starting with the volume. This is some impressive volume. All right, let's take a zoom out. This is by far the biggest trading moment for the stock. All right, and look, there was a 1 for 10 reverse split. Even I think if you 10x this one, I think that might be incorrect. I think this might have been a bigger day right here. I don't know. I don't know how reverse splits affect volume. I'm going to take that sentence back. Nonetheless, what we're looking at right now, this is the best sustainable moment of volume. And what I see is accumulation. All right. You know, I hate it when you lose like 90% of the volume. That's definitely the worst thing you can do, right? When you're all the way at almost 100 and then you're barely cracking 10, barely cracking 6. Excuse me, hiccup there. That's horrible, right? But I'm not seeing a crazy sell-off. All these almost 90 million shares, they're pretty much being held. And we're adding another 72 today after we added another, 30 on Friday. Like there are a lot of shares being purchased and held. And to me, accumulation is important, right? Like we are destroying, let alone over. We are destroying the 50-day average. And that actually includes on those bad days. This is the worst of the bad days. And you can see this was a 3.9 volume on a 3 million average, right? So every single one of these has broken that volume line, which is important. You know that, let alone the accumulation, all right? RSI is a very, very healthy 67. You know, I start ringing the alarms around 80. I'm just zooming back a little bit though. There aren't too many moments where this thing actually runs to 80. You can see this is a single RSI of 80. That was also the other volume day I talked about, right? And then maybe there's something around here. No, look at that. That's a 78. So this thing doesn't really peak too much higher than 80, but hey, let's see if we can go from 70 to 80 and call it a day, all right? Right now, I think we're heading here to this 234. All right, I'm seeing a nice little red. I liked where we closed too, because it looks like, yeah, we did. We closed above this December day. We're actually in this right here. Are we over this day too? Okay, this one opens at 195. This is December 13th. Today closes at 195. I'm all right with that. I wish we did a little penny higher, but I'm cool with that. Look, we actually going up a little bit in post-market. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but we've seen it where you make a 50% day and then all of a sudden you're losing like 15, 20% after hours, right? So going up a little bit, just holding even is actually a good thing, all right? Now let's get it. Oh, no, and then the MACD. MACD is positive. You know I love the positive MACD, and look at those divergences. That's diverging, that's diverging. Diverging just means two lines going away from each other. I like it when the green is diverging up, and it's doing it on both the MACD and RSI. I'm loving all three down here, all right? Look, we've come to the 100 on a wick, not a real candle, right? But we've come up here, failed it. We wicked it, but kind of failed it. Lo and behold, today we've gotten over it, right? And I'm looking at a stock that's actually been here before, but only once. All right, it's gotten over it, come down, and then clearly made a little baby run, right? I think there's reason to believe we're gonna do this baby run again. And really what I'm seeing is this, it doesn't quite go all the way to the 200, not really halfway either, but give or take. I think that's a decent combination of where my 234 line is. Because again, I'm just kind of using these resistances, right? There's a good little horizontal there, good little horizontal there. I think that lines up pretty well. And I think that almost replicates what it's done before. Sneak on above the 100. Let's try to do it again. Can't really go up there, right? So that's not a bad thing by any means. I want to delete some of these lines. These are just kind of annoying me more than anything. Sorry about that. Give me a sec. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. Cool. So yeah, I think it's fair to put a 230, 234 target on this thing. I wouldn't be too surprised if this thing comes back to like, what's this? I think 175 is a maybe. I actually do think we might come as low as 175. I think this 182 is probably a little more realistic. But look, if this thing breaks the 100, we've got a positive MACD that's ready to go. We've got a nice RSI that's nice. And I mean, I'm seeing good volume that way. And I'm seeing actually even decent volume that way. It's a little more, you know, exponential than I like it. But yeah, HUBC, I think we're playing the rumor right here. All right, look. This is a week that's starting off over the 20 moving average. There are not that many weeks that start over here, let alone finish over here, right? So this one was actually able to do it, and we got a little doji after, right? So this isn't bad on the weekly. Look, today's Monday. Today's only a single day on the weekly, and already this candle is huge. All right, we're probably going to destroy this weekly candle. Again, it's only Monday today, right? We still have 4 full trading days for this thing, right? So I'm really liking this weekly, actually. I think it's very aggressive to think 3 plus. I still want to hold this 230 for now, but yeah, if I was to put a next target, I would basically say 340 here. But yeah, look, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you know a little bit more about the company than I do, right? Otherwise, like I said, I'm playing the rumor and going from there, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. SPCB, is that what it was? Super calm. Yes, it was. All right. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share this video. Oh, it does wonders with the YouTube algorithms. All right. So I'll be honest, I've never heard of this stock. All right. And I mentioned in the beginning of the video, all right, the chart readers Discord is free. And one big thing is you've got a bunch of eyes. All right. And on the 13th, which was sometime over the weekend, it was Saturday, right? This stock came to view. All 3 of these did actually, right? So there was eyeballs ready come Monday, come today, right? But I'd never heard of this stock, and apparently there's a little bit more info here, right? They're both war stocks. You know, we talked about it for a minute, right? But it's interesting. If you look at this, you see that kind of 1, 2, 3. That's really the same setup as HUBC. The thing goes up, comes down, and goes, right? So I'm already seeing a decent, you can tell I like don't know the stock well. I like struggle to put the letters in quickly. I'm seeing a real quick connection with them, all right? The other thing I'm seeing here, and I don't think I talked about it much on the last one, that's a beautiful, beautiful use of the 8 moving average, all right? I talk about it all the time. Look, you can see it so goodness. When a stock is unable to get over the 8 moving average, that green line right there, it's a devastating thing. It's a devastating thing. It'll take you almost 90% down the, I don't want to say down the toilet, right? But like I basically just did right there, right? When these 2 lines are a stock's worst enemy, it's horrible. All of a sudden, when you're able to start riding them and bouncing them and going, oh my goodness, it's a beautiful thing, right? I'm seeing the 20 get ready to go. We're gonna golden cross this 100, right? The 8's gonna golden cross the 100 tomorrow, right? I need to say we have not confirmed the 100 moving average, all right? So what does that mean? Look, yes, Friday physically got over it. Yes, clearly we gapped up monster, and this was a big, nice, beautiful candle. This is a doji in my book. I am actually, like, this is a beautiful percentage, right? I'm ignoring this percentage because, again, I need a good candle to make me believe we broke this, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not really here thinking we're going to drop back to 27. I think that's a little bit aggressive, right? Especially if I'm saying that the 8's going to golden cross, right? Like, the 8 might come to 30 for all I know, but I still need a little bit more to believe because let's just zoom out real quick, right? Let's just zoom out. We've struggled with that blue line to say the least, right? All the way since 2021. Right, I can probably keep zooming out, maybe even before. Yeah, I mean, pretty much the entirety of the stock, right? But since 2021, we have been almost entirely under this blue line. There's moments where we're over it, but it doesn't sustain, right? I'm not even talking about the 200, which we've literally been completely under, right? So there's a lot going on right now, and there's some really important resistances on the technical side going on right now, right? But that's a nice MACD in the positive with a good divergence. It's a little bit of a high RSI, but that's not 80 yet. I'm still okay with the 74. Loving the double divergence right there, right? And again, same volume story, right? Same one as HUBC. I'm seeing an accumulation here. These almost 100 million shares definitely did not flip. And I'm seeing way more buying than selling over the last couple of days, right? Again, this is a 45% day. After hours is pretty much holding. It's actually up 10%. That's not something little, right? But yeah, I mean, this seems big. All right, so let's talk about some expectations, all right? Let's talk about some expectations. Where's this at? Yeah, that's our next line. All right, the next line is 51 cents. My goodness, if 51 cents breaks, I don't want to draw the line just yet because I don't want to really put 88 cents. Ah, man, I got to draw it. So I have to actually draw it down here. And that's where I'm going to draw it. Let's see if that lines up with the weekly somewhere. It doesn't. Okay, the 51 kind of did, but no, the 72 didn't. I think those are my next two lines up. Okay, I think it very easily would have been, you know, that right there, but I think that 72 is going to be a little harder than it looks, and I did like that. But listen, this purple line, what is it sitting at? 43 cents is going to be difficult to break, all right? Don't underestimate the difficulty of 43. If bad things were going to happen, I can see us coming down to like 37 cents. I actually would start getting worried around 34 because if you lose 34 cents, it actually might be a pretty quick drop down to below 30 actually. So, this is a stock I really don't know well. If you know the connection, please let me know. Look, at the very minimum, I see security and protection services, right? So it sounds to me like it's in the sector. We talked about it looking like HUBC as well, right? So yeah, it's all kind of lining up and making sense to me. So again, we're still in this by the rumor world. There's a lot of rumors going on what could happen, right? Rumors are a good thing in the stock world, right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Let's take a look at TPET. Yes, Trio Petroleum. Oh man, it's funny because I remember Go Jim in the comments talking about this not that long ago. He was already up like 30%. Lo and behold, that was only the beginning, right? So I often say, read the YouTube comments. There are some way good comments out there, all right? So really quickly, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share this video, it does wonders with the algorithms, all right? So really, it's the exact same story I've been saying on this entire video, right? There are rumors that the Middle East is going to do some crazy things, right? And the Middle East is where oil and gas is essentially born, right? Like, I don't know how else to say that. I know that wasn't the smartest of sentences, but I think you get what I mean, right? If there is turmoil out there, it's going to be difficult to export, right? Because again, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of blockades and this and that. Even if they do export, it's going to be really expensive, right? So there are a lot of rumors brewing with the oil worlds, right? And it's funny, I mentioned in the beginning, I got the oil stocks wrong. I talked about CEI. I don't think that one's been doing that well. I talked about IMPP. I don't think that one's done that well, right? So Indo and HUSA seem to have been doing well. This is another one, right? So to me, obviously I want to get the sector right? But I think just looking there is a good thing, right? You'll over your career get it right more times than wrong, trust me. But nonetheless, yeah, it's kind of the same story. We did not confirm the 200. This was a beautiful break of it on Friday. This is a doji, and doji doesn't count, all right? So if this was going to come down, I can actually see us coming as low as 45, maybe 47, give or take. But if we were going to make the move, oh my goodness. Okay, let's draw that right there. Oh, that's almost where we're at. And you can argue I should lower that because that's not really halfway. But again, you know my lines aren't here for perfect, right? Oh my goodness, what, right there, I guess? Dang, what's on the weekly? Oh my goodness, there's barely anything on the weekly. I don't even think this is worth drawing. It's not. It's not. I'm not going to draw that. Goodness. Wow. All right. Look again. There's some interesting things happening. I have to call out the 87 RSI. That's a really high RSI, but that's a good MACD. That's a real good volume, and that's some interesting up there. Again, this is just one indicator down here, right? And you kind of got to decide what is it? Is it ooh, excuse me, a little hiccup there. Is it a hot sector and rumor that's going to win? Or is it too hot an indicator that's going to win and needs to cool down, right? But yeah, just look at that divergence and look at that volume and look at that accumulation, right? It was 300 million on Friday and another 170 today. I know that's a 50% drop in volume, but that accumulation is just really, really hard to ignore, all right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know them, please. Otherwise, as always, thank you, thank you.